back into the final video for chapter 6, where we're going to continue talking about some changes in cost structure. So the first thing that I kind of want to just point out here is, have you guys ever been to 7 Brew? Like 7 Brew or Chick-fil-A? If you think about how that works, right, is that there are humans there to take your order. I mean, they're standing outside and they have like their iPads and they put your order into the iPad, you roll up the window, you get your food or your drink and you head out. Think about how that's different. Have you guys ever, like, I don't know, like been to Panera Bread? Panera Bread, there's one person that's maybe at the counter, but most of the time you go in and you order on like at a kiosk, right? And you just kind of put the food that you want in, and then you don't have to really talk to anybody. So there's different restaurants like approach this differently for reasons, right? And it's primarily just because of how much it costs. So something that's called a cost structure is, hey, how much am I using fixed costs, say a kiosk at Panera Bread, versus how much am I using variable cost, which is going to be like human labor to take our orders when we go to these restaurants. So Starbucks is being presented with the exact same scenario of what we're trying to talk about. So Starbucks sees a drop from 10,000 units sold to 7,500 units sold. So now all of a sudden we have gone from breaking even to now being in a loss territory. So a couple of different ways that we could do this is we could say, hey, I want to install a point of sale kiosk in a parking lot where customers can place and pay for orders at a discounted price. Okay. I'm going to increase my fixed cost because I have to install those kiosks, and I'm going to reduce my average selling price, right, in order to make this happen. Why is my average selling price decreasing? Well, because I'm offering your meal at a discounted price because you're using say you're using a kiosk or whatever. Maybe you're a rewards program member if you use a kiosk. Okay. So the second option is I can hire a part-time worker to walk through the drive-through and take orders on payments on iPads. So I'm increasing my variable cost, right? Because now I have to pay additional laborers to take your order. And my fixed cost is going up by $1,000, okay, because I have to go buy iPads. But I'm able to keep my sales price at $5 because I am not, reducing your price for using a kiosk. So what does this really matter to me? Well, it matters to me, right? Because I think under option 1, I'm going to increase my drive-through capacity by 3,000 more units than option 2. I don't know that, but I think that that's going to be what happens. So you have to think about all the variables that I'm changing in option 1. I'm increasing my fixed costs and I'm reducing my average selling price. Or in option 2, I'm increasing my variable cost and my fixed costs, but I'm keeping my price the same. And now in option 1, I'm going to increase my number of units sold by 3,000 more than in option 2, because more people are going to come buy a product from me if I'm offering it at a discounted price. So how am I going to analyze this from a CVP analysis perspective? What would you do here? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my profit equation equal under option 1 to option 2. So what that means is I'm going to say under option 1, what is my sales price times my quantity? What is my variable cost times my quantity? What's my fixed cost? And now the point of indifference, where I really don't care whether I choose option 1 or option 2, is going to be where that equals under option 2, my sales price times my quantity, less my variable cost times my quantity, less my total fixed costs here. So scroll back here and say, well, what is my sales price under option 1? It's $4.80 because I'm offering a discount for using the kiosk. I'm trying to solve for how many units I'm selling that I don't care between the difference. Okay, so I'm going to calculate my indifference point. Now, how much is my variable cost? it's still just $1. I didn't change anything from a variable, right? But now my fixed costs have gone up to 44,600, right? Because I'm installing those kiosks. Now I'm going to set that equal to option 2. Now over here, I'm not changing my sales price at all, right? Because I'm not offering a discount. But I am changing my variable cost because now I'm hiring additional laborers that have to come out and take your order. And I'm increasing my fixed cost by only $1,000 to go buy those iPads. So now I'm just going to do a little bit of consolidation. I'm going to say 380Q less 44.6 is going to equal 350Q less 41,000. I can say, bring this 350Q over and have 30 or 0.3Q equal to 3,600. Q equals 12,000. So at 12,000 units, I don't care between the two methods. It's going to bring me the same amount of money in regardless. Okay. So now what I can do as well is I could plug that in. Okay. And I could generate, or I could calculate my target profit in dollars. Okay. So now if we look at this, what we're going to see here is that I can look at this based on profits under option 1 or based on profits under option 2. So we just calculated this out, that under option 1 and 2, where I sell 12,000 units, I don't care between the two because I generate the same target profit. Okay. Now it looks like under option 1, I'm going to start generating more profit after that break-even point. Okay, and I'm going to generate more profit under option 1 because this has been fixed. My kiosks are fixed. Remember, under option 2, now I'm on the hook for all of these variable costs per unit that is increased. So it should make sense that under option 1, I'm actually in kind of a better spot because, yeah, my fixed costs go up, but I'm not reducing my contribution margin as much under option 1, under option 2. Okay. So the next and the last thing to talk about here is going to be a multi-product cost variable profit analysis. So we've held this constant, right? That we're just like, okay, we have 1 cup of coffee at one size. Well, we know that's really not such the case. Okay, so a product mix is the relative number of products or services stated in terms of the number of units sold. So my product mix is going to be, hey, I have 60% of my units sold come from this cup of coffee. The remaining 40% come from muffins. Okay, so my sales mix is the relative mix of products and services as a percentage of my total sales revenue. So sales mix, we don't look at nearly as much. We really like product mix in this class. So if you think about it, a company like Starbucks or any company, they sell coffee, tea, pastries, sandwiches, salads, mugs, t-shirts, a whole bunch of stuff. And each of these items have like a different price point and a different unit cost, which makes the CVP analysis more complex.